My name is Sara Bayles. I have a beach cleanup project called the Daily Ocean. And what it is I go down to my local beach and I collect trash and I weigh it and I put it up all online and I write about it and I try and educate people about the problems of plastic marine pollution in the ocean, but also the correlation between a healthy lifestyle and a healthy ocean, that there's no difference. As of October 13th, I've collected over 1,277 pounds of trash off my local beach 20 minutes at a time. But here it is, Lifeguard Tower 26. And I go between 26 and 28. I go to the same place. I picked my beach because it was at the end of the street closest to the way to get there. It was really a no-brainer. I didn't pick the dirtiest beach or the one that needed the most help. I picked the one closest to me. But why in the world did I do this? This is me. This is 2 days after my second birthday in 1978. I'm 36 years old. And I want to tell you, in the late 70s and early 80s, trash really stuck out on the beach. I can remember walking around and being like, wow, that's weird, there's a straw. And as a kid, and maybe I'm different, but I don't think I am. Kids are pretty perceptive. I remember being like, that doesn't belong there, and picking it up. This is me again. I'm 6 or 7, and I'm on the Jersey Shore, the Jersey Shore. And I have always spent most of the summer, being from the Northeast, it's kind of cold, so most of the summer on the ocean. It's given me a lot. I'm a lifelong body surfer. I know there's a lot of board surfers in here, but there are such things as body surfers. I'm one of them. And this is me when I'm probably 8 years old on Block Island. And this is me last Sunday at Tower 26. So I go out in the water at the same place where I clean up the beach. These are Hawaiian spinner dolphins. I've had the privilege of going to Hawaii several times, and I've had the honor of swimming with them in the wild. And I know this is an unusual experience, and I know it's one that's changed me forever. And after several of these visits, I thought to myself, I'm an artist. How can I use my creativity and help the ocean? I was teaching ceramics at the time. I was writing fiction, but I still hadn't thought of the Daily Ocean yet. And I remember feeling like I needed to be an ambassador for these guys. They don't get to hop out on land and have a voice, but I do. I won't just leave it at dolphins. I've also had a great time swimming with sea turtles and other marine life. And for those of us who do love the ocean and have had these treasured experiences, I really feel like it's so important for me to go and share them with people who don't have a direct connection, who've never been to Hawaii or California and may never, ever get to do that. But I can bring my experiences and my love for those environments straight to them by doing things like talking like this to a group of people. I got married 4 years ago. This is Leo Carrillo State Park. We got married on the beach in December, and my family from the Northeast couldn't believe we were getting married outside on the beach in December, but Southern California, we're pretty lucky. So we got married, and my husband, Garin, teaches marine biology at Santa Monica College, and we moved to Santa Monica shortly after we were married, and I went down to my local beach. I used to teach at nonprofit art centers on Saturdays, so joining Heal the Bay and Surfrider for their organized monthly cleanups was really hard for me. I decided one afternoon in March of 2009 that I would just grab a bag as I went out and went to my beach for a cleanup. To this point, my environmental activism was my yearly donation to Surfrider. And I think that's great, and I think it's an awesome place to start. And I want to tell you, I just had it in my head to go on this one walk and grab a bag by myself out the door when I went. And what I found was a lot of this. And I came home, and Garin also loves the ocean, the marine environment, and I was pretty disturbed. And I'm not sure, I can't remember exactly if there was like more trash that day than other days I've been out there. It just really bothered me. Maybe it was like the first day I really took notice for whatever reason. And at this point, I didn't even have a personal Facebook page. I didn't know what Twitter was. I wasn't online at all. I'd never even really thought of starting a blog. But Garin and I sort of spent some time thinking about ideas, and I decided I was going to do something about what I'd seen. and I was going to buy a little scale from Staples. That's okay. I was going to buy a little scale from Staples, and I was going to weigh the trash I found at the end of 20 minutes. And my average is 4 pounds of trash in 20 minutes. And plastic bags, when they're dry, to give you a reference, weigh 0.25 ounces. An empty water bottle weighs less than an ounce. So 4 pounds adds up pretty quick, and that's my average. I've been pretty happy with my efforts. It's been hard, but I've also tried to figure out a way to make the daily ocean a part of my life in a sustainable way. I felt overwhelmed by tapping into the problems that were going on with the ocean, the problems with marine plastic pollution. I was bummed out. But I knew that if I tried to be an example that people couldn't relate to, that I wasn't going to get very far. And so even though I wanted to go every single day, and the name of my blog is The Daily Ocean, Garn was like, hey, reel it in a little. That's kind of impractical. Like, you might get sick. You might want to go to a wedding. We might want to go visit your parents. And I said, you know, you're right. So it's taken me 3.5 years. And I am so glad that it has, because in those 3.5 years, I've met so many more people and done so many more things and gone on so many more adventures if I tried to just like hit it out of the park in one overwhelming effort. So if there's a message today, I would say, it's okay to feel overwhelmed, but how can we take step-by-step approach to solutions in a way that's going to like keep your stamina going? So what do I find? I find a lot of these. Fast food wrappers, candy wrappers, plastic bags, balloons, coffee cups, yes, that is a diaper. One of the ways I think beach cleanups are really genius is that it's not a solution in and of itself, but there is an experience that I have personally had where I have picked up so many water bottles off the sand, I can no longer go and buy them. I just can't. And it didn't start that way, you know? I'm sure I drank plenty of bottled water when I start. And I'm also sure I was an ocean lover. So how do we get the message to people who might be ocean lovers or people that mean well or have a good intention but don't yet see all the connections to what they're doing and their impacts? I've also found plenty of plastic bags. I would rather carry my groceries out like this if I forget my bag than take one. That's me personally, and that's me after 3.5 years of effort. That's not me right away. I was grabbing plastic bags from my house to fill up with trash at the beach. I've changed over time. And that's one of the reasons that I think that if we approach people in a way that's soft and kind and compassionate, they might hear a message, they might keep their ears open, they might have an affordable chance to change as well. Sometimes I find interesting things on the beach, and I want to talk about the photography aspect of my blog for a second. So I don't position any of the trash, and I don't crop or color correct anything, and that's just me personally. I don't think that there's an issue with doing that, but personally what you see when I show you my photographs is what I saw at the time I took the picture. And for those of you guys who can't see, that says quit smoking. So finding shots like this one and this one make it pretty sweet. Thank you, Gatorade. Yeah. A lot of people seem to like this. And I've also seen, along with the trash and the oddities, plenty of beauty, plenty of things that inspire me. I have a particular fondness for seagulls. I know that a lot of people come to the beach and share moments with their family or reflect by themselves, and that the ocean is something that renews them every time they go out on the sand. And I love the fact that I've gone to the same place every time, because I've seen it change so many times. This is just this summer in late August. So it's clear we've got a problem. If I can find over 1,200 pounds of trash on a small section of a well-maintained beach, this is a snapshot of what's happening around the world. And in some places, it is rather overwhelming to see the images from around the world, like we're going to see today. But I also believe that we can be ambassadors for the guys that are there. There's more than just us at the beach. And what can we do? What are the solutions? I'd like to really focus on that. You can join me. Literally, you can join me. You can come on what I call a community count beach cleanup, and you can do a daily ocean style beach cleanup. You can go out for 20 minutes with me, and I'll put it on my blog. Or you can go out on your local beach and write me about it. That's what's so cool about the internet, and that's what's so cool about being able to do things online and utilize those tools. I have recently gotten a blog post from somebody in Italy. I've had followers do beach cleanups in Germany. I've had people call me and say, hey, I'm going to do something when I go on vacation in Florida. They live in Washington, D.C. I've had people contact me from the Great Lakes. I've had people go out and pick up so much trash that together we've collected over a ton of trash from beaches worldwide. I want to remind you, I'm one girl that left her house with a plastic bag from her house to go pick up trash on her local beach. And if you do, protect yourself. Please use a reusable glove. I personally don't like creating more trash from picking up the trash, so I use a reusable gardening glove. And I use reusable bags. He's a friend of mine who makes reusable bags. There's mesh on the bottom so the sand falls out. I think my favorite story from the community count is this is me and my friend Danielle. She lives in North Carolina. This was last Friday. She was here for a visit. She came out on the beach with her 3 kids and her husband 2 years ago. And they noticed a lack of cigarette butts on their beach, on our beach in Santa Monica. We've banned smoking on the beach. We're also in California, so there's a cultural difference between California and North Carolina. All of that granted, she went home and really got fired up to do something about her local community and raise awareness on how many cigarette butts are on their beaches. She and her kids, that's Claire, she found some sunglasses that day she came out. She has a blog called It Starts With Me, and she has something called Our Daily Ocean, where she's done 160 daily ocean beach cleanups, and she's taken over 50,000 cigarette butts off of her community beaches, 20 minutes at a time. She's also lobbied, and it's on the ballot in November for Wrightsville Beach to be the first beach in North Carolina to potentially become cigarette-free. Another thing, I was talking about this a minute ago. You can take it off the sand and then take it out of your own life. And I don't mean to say this to make you feel guilty about your habits. That's not the point. The point is, again, over time, I physically picked up so many water bottles. I just can't do it anymore. And I swear that if you get into this, you will change over time at a pace that's sustainable for you. Think creatively. Third solution. How do I share a message that helps the ocean, and what do I contribute? Well, back to the photographs I was talking about. I've had gallery shows locally. This is last winter. This is last coastal cleanup day down the street. So that's a way that I share the message. But I also know that there are so many different kinds of creativity. Some of you might be graphic artists. Some of you also may be photographers. Some of you might be writers. Who knows? But you guys have skills and talents that I'm sure if you thought about, you could really tap into. So I also don't do this alone. This is this coastal cleanup day with Julie out on Venice Beach. We got a lot of stuff, a lot of trash. That's okay. Don't worry about it. Welcome. How you doing? Maybe you just want to wait in the back for a minute until I'm done. Okay, thanks. This is Manhattan Academy. This is somebody you guys should all feel proud of. This is Julia Brownlee. She lobbies to ban the bag in Sacramento. She's a state representative. Danielle won the Brita Filter for Good film contest a couple years ago, and we had a film crew come out here and in North Carolina, and it went all the way to Sundance. Danielle never expected to go to Sundance when she went home and started her daily ocean cleanup. I never expected to be in the LA Times or on CBS Nightly News or on Yahoo as one of the 10 most inspirational people of 2010. I never expected any of that. I'm happy that I was there, and I'm happy about it because it carries the message out to more and more and more people. And I want to tell you, even though I'm speaking in front of you today, I'm normally a rather shy person, and I would rather be behind the camera than in front of it. It's clear we have a lot of work to do, and it's clear that there's a lot of people that care. You guys are here on a Saturday. You care about this issue enough to take time out of your daily life, your busy life, and come and learn about this. And it's clear that there's a reason why we have to sort of take up this call now. There are kids that are going to be growing up in the next 50 to 100 years that need our voices right now. This is a tipping point. We are here at a tipping point, at a moment in history where we really can make a difference. I totally believe that. I believe that people care. And I believe that if the children of the future could send a message back to us today, they would ask us to be a little more courageous. They would ask us to do just a little bit more than we currently do. They would say, would you spend some time and really make a little more effort? Don't be afraid. Don't be shy about your skills and your talents, because we need you. They need us. They do. So part of the problem is there's so many people in the world to reach, but that's also the solution. That is also the solution. How can I reach people to keep their ears open? How can I reach people in a compassionate way that helps them change? How do I spread a message that might reach somebody for the first time and inspire them? That's my job, and I'm happy to do it. And I'm happy for you to come along with me. You can email me, you can find my blog, you can talk to me, you can gain inspiration, you can gain advice, you can literally come on the beach with me. However you want to do it, I am here, and I am here for you. I'm here to share my story, and I want to say thank you so much for giving me your attention today.